hello there.
Welcome to the Shade Cinema podcast. I'm Chris, and these are my esteemed guests, Mr. Alex and Mr. Aaron.
Sup, peeps?
And today, in the inaugural episode, we will talk about the wonderful show known as Obi-Wan KENOBI.
Honestly, pretty good series.
Okay.
Amazing.
First question is thoughts on the show. What do you guys think of the show? And I'll start with you, Alex.
Okay. I think I love the show, honestly. I don't care what hate it got. I think it was an amazing show. I understand the little tweaks in there or the comments that people didn't like it. But in general, like maybe episode per episode, a lot of people were shitting on it at the beginning or whatnot. But when you watch the whole series, back to back, all 6 episodes, I think it was fantastic. I loved it, honestly. It was a good Star Wars show.
Okay. Aaron?
It had its flaws, like every other show. It's so normal, for you to nitpick some stuff. That's why it also got a bit of hate in the beginning as well. But overall, I think the general storyline was pretty good. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, honestly, same. I actually recently watched it, and there was a lot of things that I didn't pick up the first time that I really did. There's a lot of little details. For example, I was like, wait, how did Reva know that
Wait, Reva was the third sister, right?
Third sister. How did the third sister know that Leia was in some way connected to Vader? But in reality, what happened is that she knew that Bail Organa was connected to Obi-Wan. So she wanted to take her daughter or his daughter, and then kidnap her so that she can bring Obi-Wan out of the closet.
Yeah. Basically. In simple terms.
So are we revealing that Obi-Wan is gay in this episode?
Obi-Wan is gay. Title of the podcast. Obi-Wan is gay? No.
But we gotta come up with some amazing
So, I think one of the things that a lot of people had a bit of trouble with was that they had an issue with the Inquisitors and how they were fighting all the time.
No, it wasn't that. They just said the Inquisitors compared to let's say Rebels or the comics, they weren't well adapted.
What do you mean?
It was they found their lines very cringe or they're little babies. I don't know, but I don't mind it. It wasn't the best thing. But it wasn't bad, obviously watching Rebels, I think the Inquisitors were the best way the Inquisitors were portrayed was probably
Incredibles.
In Jedi Fallen, that was good. The comics, obviously the Darth Vader comics, and in Rebels, so I think that was it.
In Rebels, only really the Grand Inquisitor was seen as some sort of a threat, but the other ones always looked like dorks. Especially when they came up against Ahsoka.
No, but in season 3 and 2, they're still present. They were getting chased after by I don't remember which sisters, but there's the 8th brother, and then there was the lady with the green skin with the black dots.
Oh yeah. I think she got killed by Maul, wasn't she?
They all died in that episode with Darth Vader.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, sorry guys.
So, well, I think one of the things I noticed was the Inquisitors infighting. Which I honestly don't know why there was there hasn't been that much of that, because if you think about it, they are dark side users, so they are inevitably going to fight at some point. So I don't know if you guys know anything about Darth Bane, or
very little.
Very little. Okay, so Darth Bane came at a time where the Sith was a part of something called the Brotherhood of Darkness. Basically, they were the Sith trying to be the Jedi in a more equal order. But Bane saw that as a perversion of the dark side, because he believed that the dark side chooses the strongest person to be its sole possessor of its power, right? So the reason why the Brotherhood of Darkness was created was so that the Sith don't have to infight as much, because they were killing each other all the time. Look at Revan, look at Darth Malak. They were fighting each other more than actually fighting the Jedi. So it kind of reminded me of that, in the same way as the Brotherhood of Darkness was created so that it's a more equal order. But here you can clearly see that there's a hierarchy, right? So like the Grand Inquisitor's at the top, and then there's like the various brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but the Inquisitors, like, yeah, there's a clear distinction between a Sith Lord and Inquisitors. Like, they're nothing compared to Darth Vader and Palpatine, and it's like very obvious that, and they know that as well. So, I think I don't see a major problem. The only thing I didn't like about the show was probably Reva, because, like, I think we've seen that too many times. Like good person turns evil to turn back good again. Like, she should have just, I don't know, she should have died when she fought Vader, to be honest, and that was the end of it. The last episode was really annoying. The fact that she still survived, I was like, okay, she survived Order 66 by Anakin Skywalker.
She was at the temple.
At the temple, she survived that, and then she got stabbed by Vader again, and she survived. Like, come on.
That's the only thing that I'm hating about. I don't know if it's Disney or if it's Star Wars.
I think it's Disney.
Whatever it is, but like I hate it when there's like these scenarios where people get stabbed and it's like a clear death, where like any other side character would clearly die from, but then they always find a way to come back. I mean, okay, she survived as a youngling. Same shit happened again. Vader stabbed her the exact same way, but she still managed to.
Maybe he stabbed her in the exact same spot. That's why she survived.
Okay, but
but still, you got stabbed by a lightsaber. That's the thing. You're human.
At least
You're a young.
At least what was it? The Grand Inquisitor has like 2 stomachs.
Right.
At least they had that explanation, but then they don't do that with Reva. I think she's like probably the weakest point of the show. But I also really like the idea that like she's like sort of self undercover. Like she joined the Inquisitors to get closer to Vader so she can kill him, but then like. That comes with the idea that she thought that she ever had a chance to beat Vader to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Agreed.
No.
Honestly, I didn't like her.
I think if you wanted to really beat Vader, he would just leak the fact that he's Anakin. Like that would have been much better in my opinion.
But she doesn't want to. Like she wants to come out of this alive too, though, Chris.
Well, yeah. That's the thing. But like, is she really going to be able to? I mean, what was her grand plan? Was it just to become like the Grand Inquisitor and then just stab Vader in the back?
I have no idea.
Or was it like to become his apprentice eventually?
I think honestly, these are the little thing, the flaws of the show where the main show was about Anakin and Obi-Wan clearly, and then they're like, okay, we have 6 episodes, we have to flesh out new characters and sell toys, so let's.
Well, yeah, it's always about the toys.
I mean, other than like its marketing perspective, I think you can disagree with me, but I thought Reva was a pretty good addition. I liked her.
Yeah, I liked her at the beginning, but that end really affected of like the fact like, okay, come on, the same thing over and over, you know, like Ben Solo.
What do you mean though?
Like the fact that like she at the end she's like, oh, I'm not gonna kill Luke, and like
no, but she was always torn. Like it's not like she suddenly started thinking about.
Yeah, like, but she was still an Inquisitor all those years, like, you know what I'm saying?
But when are we gonna have like an actual full villain?
Yeah, exactly.
Like when are we gonna have the villain actually be vanquished for once? Like we saw it with Kylo, we saw it with Vader.
Kylo became good again. Like
yeah, but that's the thing. He redeemed himself, right?
Yeah, but still.
But the thing is, it's like there isn't enough like fully evil characters. Like the fully evil character is always behind the main villain.
And not just that. Recently in media, I think like every movie show, like every villain is like an anti-villain these days. Don't you find?
You mean an anti-hero?
No, anti-villain.
Anti-hero. Wait.
No, like I mean an anti-villain.
What do you
mean?
Where
they're like evil, but like they're not always evil. Like Deadpool, Punisher.
No, but Deadpool's an anti-hero.
No, they're all anti-villains.
No, they're anti-heroes.
They're anti-heroes. Anti-hero. I read the
definition. No, they're actually
anti-hero.
Anti-villains. Punisher's anti-villain. Ghost Rider's anti-villain.
But isn't anti-villain is like no wait no I think he does have a point. It's like anti-hero is like.
Anti-hero is like Wolverine.
You're good, but you do like bad stuff.
That's like Wolverine. But when you're fully evil.
But then when you're evil, but then you sometimes do good things. That's like
that's anti-villain. So Wolverine is a perfect example of anti-hero because he's a hero, but he does stuff that's questionable sometimes. But Deadpool is not a hero. He's a villain. He's still a villain at the end of the day. Or like let's say you pick out I don't know, Ghost Rider literally murders people. Punisher, he's not a hero. He fights most of the superheroes most of the time.
Because to be honest, until now I didn't even know anti-villain was a thing.
Yeah,
I knew that anti-hero was a thing.
Like
I know
Black
that
Adam is technically a villain, but
he's considered an anti-hero.
No, he's anti-villain because he's evil at like its pure base.
Because the thing is, the way that they describe anti-heroes, I might be messing this up because I read it recently. Basically they have, let's say, similar intentions as heroes, where they have like let's say a good goal in mind, so that the end is like is a good intention, but the means for them, like they're willing to cross any line that they need, and they don't mind like
So for
Yeah,
them,
but they're still
so
a hero.
Yeah.
would you say an anti-villain would be someone who has like?
He's more
He-
evil from base and then has a little good stuff.
Would
to
you
it.
would you say he's like
that's
he's,
weird.
It's like an evil path like carved with good intentions.
Yeah, basically. Like like more evil. Like they've done more evil stuff, but then sometimes the 1% they're like, they actually do something that's more heroic than evil. It's like anti-hero is more hero side.
So would you say like from Love and Thunder, Gore would be an anti-villain?
Yeah, because he was evil the whole time, and then at the end he
Well,
redeems himself. But he's
like,
not an anti-hero because he's not a hero at all.
Okay, but Darth Vader then in that case is an anti-villain.
No, not really.
Because at the end, I mean,
Well, no,
he brings
I-
balance, right?
But I think it's something you have to do throughout the story. It's not something you like. Oh well, because he redeemed himself,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
therefore he's an anti-villain.
No,
It's like
Darth
it's
Vader's
either
a villain.
Darth Vader's like a pure villain. Like he doesn't really do any like good stuff throughout the show.
Yeah, and like any like Pirates of the Caribbean, like Davy Jones is a villain, but like Barbossa like is more of an anti-villain because he was evil, but then like he turns a new leaf, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this now. But let's not stray away too far from
Okay.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan.
so-
Continue.
We were laughing earlier when you were talking about the Inquisitors
Mm-hmm.
because we thought of that meme. It's like what was it the
Lord Vader
the sixth brother? He's like, Lord Vader says it's my turn to play on the Xbox.
With the stance.
my turn.
That was really funny.
So, the next thing I want to talk about is Ben versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, like, you see the duality a bit in the show, where Ben Kenobi's kind of like he gave up on like he's
Obi-Wan.
on-
Obi-Wan gave up, but Ben Kenobi is like
So you say like Ben Kenobi is the one
the
that
newer leaf.
it's the newer leaf, or would you say that?
No, it's definitely Ben Kenobi.
So would you like let's look at the beginning of the show, right? When Obi-Wan was like working at that like I don't know that.
I think that's still Obi-Wan.
That's Obi-Wan, or is that Ben?
I think that's still Obi-Wan. I think Ben
Well, no, we
develops even after when the show ends. I think like he's starting to turn into Ben. Like I don't even think he's fully Ben at the end of the episode. In the fight, he discovers like the Ben side of himself. Like, you know, when he's like positioning himself with the lightsaber.
Sure. Can I ask you guys a question though?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I love how I'm the one asking the questions. How the turntables.
Go.
How the turntables have.
No, but what's the difference between Obi-Wan and Ben for you guys?
I think Obi-Wan is still the Jedi. Obi-Wan obviously, like, he was a great general, a great Jedi, but I think near the end of episode 3, Obi-Wan Kenobi becomes a very broken man.
Okay, so it's like you're separating it from the two eras, right? So like pre-Order 66.
Well, I think
and
there's two
after.
eras for Obi-Wan. There's like the Clone Wars Obi-Wan and
Yeah.
like the Padawan Obi-Wan and all
Right.
that. And then there's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is destroyed between Ben and, like, you know, when like episode 3 ends, there's that new Obi-Wan Kenobi that's still like, you know, like dealing with all the clones turning, like losing everybody, the Jedi Council.
So like, how come
Losing his
at the start of
brother.
the series? Because it was 10 years after that, right?
I think it's still Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You still think?
Yeah,
even
'cause
though
he-
he's like almost completely disconnected by the Force, and he's like,
Yeah, he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, forceless.
What do you think, Auden?
what do I think?
Yeah.
I think that Ben Kenobi's just a cover up, and it's just a way for him to hide. But I think Obi-Wan like still lives in him.
That's a very interesting take, actually. I
Yeah.
like that.
I think So I think from the beginning of the series, honestly, like ever since Order 66 happened and he fled, that like he used Ben as a cover up, and basically sinking the side of him, like himself before Order 66 during the Clone Wars, etc. Like as he was kind of like forcing that part of himself down, he was getting more and more disconnected and forgetting that part of himself. So that's why maybe that's the conflicting part where you feel like that he still hasn't become Ben because he hasn't completely like left that that part of his life behind. But I just see it as Ben being like a cover up and him trying to use it as a way to like disconnect his past from his present, his future.
But isn't that like the very obvious answer?
Yeah, I still think
Like-
that he doesn't.
I think he used like he became Ben because Obi-Wan failed at his job in protecting or like in saving Anakin.
He's not
So
happy
because-
with what happened.
So because he like you said, he wasn't happy with what happened. Obi-Wan decided to be like, okay, well, clearly this whole experiment with Ben Kenobi is not working. So let me move on this
You
whole
mean
experience
Obi-Wan.
with Obi-Wan is not working. So let's move on and let's become Ben, and maybe that's the best way of
continuing his mission.
Yeah, continuing his mission. But I think what would have probably happened was he would have gotten to the point where Luke was old enough to be trained, but then he wouldn't have trained him because he still wasn't confident in himself as a Jedi, right? So he was like, you know how like you sometimes you set like a distant goal for yourself and you kind of bank on that working,
Okay.
and because you bank on it working, it like you don't actually take the necessary steps to make it work. It's just you just sort of expect it to work because like you expect the like a version of you in the future to possibly deal with the problems later on. It's like the kind of thing where you like cross that bridge when you get there instead of like trying to do a favor for your future self.
Yeah, that
If you
makes sense. But at the same time, I think the only like one of the main reasons is just because of like how the movies were filmed. Like episode 4 just starts off with Ben Kenobi, because like if there was more movies in between, like I feel like maybe he would have started training Luke earlier. And so like, why did he wait that long? You understand what I'm saying? Like what happens in episode 4 that we're like, oh, like I'm gonna start training you now?
I think it was probably like I think he showed it at that moment because he realized like he can't really force Luke because Luke didn't really know, like he knew of him, but he didn't really know him.
That's true.
So it's
he
like,
calls him Uncle Ben though.
Yeah, but like for sure he knows
no, he
him.
doesn't.
No, he says
No.
there's this old Ben guy.
Or
Yeah. It's like, maybe it's like
Why-
Obi-Wan.
heard
He's like
stories of
Obi-Wan
him.
Kenobi. Oh, maybe he's related to old Ben, right? So
Yeah.
that's what he says. But it's not like a case where he knows Obi-Wan really well personally. It's not like that. It's like not.
Okay. I don't know
I
why
really-
I remember that as Uncle
if-
Ben. I'm sorry.
If there is a season 2, I really hope that they don't go on fucking adventures together.
No, that would be so stupid. That would actually ruin it. Season 2 should be. I don't know. But
Should
the
they
thing
even
is,
should they even do a season 2?
I don't think so, because unless season 1 was a bit longer, and then in season 2, like the Vader confrontation, like season 1 is just him dealing with everything, a lot of flashbacks. But I don't see a point of season 2. Like the way it's left off is it ties into episode 4 now. So for them to do season 2 would ruin everything that happened at the end of season 1, because then it's like, okay, so he said bye to everybody just to come back. Like it's gonna.
Well,
It's gonna create
he
plot
went
holes.
he greeted himself to Luke.
No, yes, that, but like the Leia thing in the Organa, the way it ended is I don't think like he ever talks to them ever again. You understand what I'm saying? Until episode 4.
Okay.
He gives a proper goodbye to Leia, and he tells like Bail Organa, like if you ever need me, and like I'm guessing like the message like help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I don't know. I think like
it's a very good way of tying it back together, and it also helps the fact that it helps the idea that she later names Kylo Ren Ben,
yes,
like when he's born.
it does.
So like it's not like she just named him after some guy. It's like it was a guy who like literally
saved
saved her life. Yeah.
I don't
So-
know why
And
I
made a
never
difference.
that connection.
Yeah, because
He never-
man rewatched the show, man. He's fully up to date, Aren.
Like I literally finished it, I think, again like 2 days ago.
Okay.
How do you guys think Obi-Wan beat Vader in the final duel?
I have a good answer for this. I don't know if Alex wants to go first though.
Honestly, I don't have a good answer, but I just think that he finally stopped like being afraid of losing Anakin, and he accepts it, and like even the dialogue like says it, like he finally accepts. He's like, and he basically stops Vader, like what, like, I don't know, like he just realized that, like, he shouldn't be afraid. He should use the Force, and like Anakin is gone, and this new person, Darth Vader, like is a villain. So he did everything in his power to stop him. But Obi-Wan, even after being that broken man, going through all that trauma, like he still won't like kill somebody, because like he's so good-hearted, I think. So he just defeated him, and he said, like, I don't even need to kill you, like I accept what happened, and I'm moving on, and I'm leaving you again.
I think Obi-Wan just used the power of friendship.
Friendship.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but I have a. I forgot who I was having this conversation with, but I had a pretty
Probably Adi.
or maybe Panos even, but like we had a pretty deep conversation about this, and I made my own opinion about the fight, and I really really liked it after thinking about it more and more.
It's amazing.
So yeah, other than the fact that the choreography was like beautiful, fucking stunning. I thought that well, first of all, I mean at the start, because like that was my main concern. Like, how the fuck is Obi-Wan gonna beat Darth Vader? Because Darth Vader is like
so Obi-Wan. I feel like people underestimate. Like, yes,
No.
we say Darth Vader is strong. He'll defeat everybody. But it's still Obi-Wan. Like,
dude, but he hasn't held a lightsaber in 10 years.
but
you
it
know?
doesn't matter.
No,
I
it
feel
does.
like the Force works very differently. It's like once you've trained that well, like you just need to get back into the zone, and everything comes back to you.
But I'm gonna explain to you why I think he won though, because I do believe that if. Okay, well, I'm
If
gonna
they
explain
fought
it, then
longer, you would probably
No,
like
I
Darth
don't
Vader
think
would
that's it.
defeat him.
So first of all,
Endurance wise, probably Anakin always had more endurance than Obi-Wan. That's
yeah,
a
no,
fact.
of course.
Well,
But
you see that in the flashback duel.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
no, but like take
But
away.
Obi-Wan is
he's
smarter
smart,
here.
Yeah, but take away like all those like their characteristics or those features, right?
Okay.
The whole show, we see the biggest issue with Darth Vader, and until the last episode, he is obsessed with capturing Obi-Wan. That's all he wants to do. He like ignores like the fleet that escapes at the last episode. He ignores everybody. Like you saw the amount of people that he was killing,
Yeah.
like left and right, just so he can get to Obi-Wan. So he was so blinded by that, right? So like his main purpose was just to get him. So
Just
it
to
came
prove
the
a
he
point
was
to
so,
Obi-Wan.
yeah, he was so obsessed, and he was so rageful that he was blinded basically. So during the fight, he took the lead at the start, buried him alive basically, and he's like, okay, like he proved his point. So once he got rid of that frustration, walking away,
He let his guard down.
he not only did he let his guard down, but also like when he came back, his rage kind of came back to him. But like Obi-Wan noticed like his blind side towards the whole situation, how like he just wants to attack him and not think. So like, what's the one thing? I mean, you guys don't play that, sports that well, but like the one thing that you need to know is that you always have to be confident, and you always have to be focused and like try to concentrate the best that you can on like whatever you're doing, and try not to get distracted or like go crazy, too angry on what you're doing, because your movement, your coordination isn't gonna be as flawless. So when Darth Vader when Obi-Wan faced him again, he kept bothering him, right? And it came to the point when he was like launching the rocks at him. Like it came to a state where Darth Vader couldn't do anything and blindly just started like swinging at him. So Obi-Wan would just dodge and find the right opportunity to hit him, find his weakness, which was his chest plate, kept breaking that until he got to a weak state. And then like Darth Vader was just fumbling around trying to hit something, but he was blinded by it. So he took advantage of that. And that's when he cut his mask open.
Yes.
So that's why I thought the fight was beautifully choreographed. Because like if that wasn't the case, like Darth Vader should have won that easy, you know?
I think it brings more to SC-38, honestly.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
yes.
it makes it so much. It makes
yes.
like watching, because when you watch SC-38 without like the middle part, like you don't see it like.
I need to rewatch it honestly.
Yeah, you really do. So for those who don't know, SC-38 is basically like a remake of the Duel in Episode 4. Hold on, there you go. It's a Duel remake of Episode 4, and the great part about it is like it's kind of like in the style of Episode 3, where they go like ham. But the difference is that Vader kicks Obi-Wan's ass for most of the fight. Like Obi-Wan's on a defensive posture, but Obi-Wan's old as shit at that point, right? He's old as shit, and I think he like, especially near the end, Obi-Wan I think still could have fought in that duel, but he realized that like Luke was like in SC-38, he realized that Luke was there. and he looks at him, and then he looks back at Vader and he smiles, right? Because he knows like, oh, this is not my fight to finish. So he's like, all right, bet. So he turns himself into a Force ghost, and then he goes like, and then he gets the fuck out.
You know that meme of the kid that's like this and he's like fading away.
It's a piece.
That was Obi-Wan. That was Ben Kenobi in episode 4.
Fuck.
So in SC-38, I think it makes it even better because you see like Vader's much more focused in that fight, like significantly. So you see like, imagine like he waited 10 years to fight this guy. He still gets his ass kicked by this guy, and in the third round, like in the third final round, he finally whoops his ass. But he's like more careful. It makes the original scene in episode 4 much better as well.
I agree.
Because he's going slow. He's very careful because he realized what his mistake was. And in my opinion, the reason why, like the way Obi-Wan beat Vader is not just because of a flaw that in Vader's strategy, but in a certain proclivity within the Jedi's nature. So let me explain. So a Jedi has a general need to protect the people that they're around, right? So you remember when he was buried under all those rocks, he was about to give up. But then he saw like flashes of Luke and flashes of Leia, and then realized that like, I have more shit to do. I have to do this for them and not necessarily for me. So therefore, I'm going to rise above my weakened state and go from weak as Ben to full on Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we've never seen Obi-Wan that strong before, like in pretty much in any Star Wars movies, because he
never needs to be that strong. He never needs to get, because he was never greedy or I want to become a powerful Jedi. He was just a good general and a good friend and a good Jedi, you know?
Yeah.
So he never needed to be that strong to defeat anybody.
But the thing is, he needed to be that strong to defeat Vader.
Yes.
In that moment. He only managed to win by a fluke in the first fight. But in like this, and by the second fight, like he
didn't even win the first fight. Didn't he get burned alive?
No. Obi-Wan.
We're saying.
Oh, okay.
Obi-Wan beat.
Yeah,
because of the jump. Yeah,
just because of the jump.
Endurance-wise, Anakin, like,
if the fight went another 5 minutes, like Obi-Wan would have lost. Yeah, but in this fight, you see like Obi-Wan like soundly beats Vader. Like he slices his mask open, and they have the very like emotional scene where you're gonna
cry,
and then. So,
I'm gonna cry.
So you have the very emotional scene of like them talking, and I think even in the show, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but in the show, I think I saw like when the mask was cracked open, I think like Vader's like face was a bit wet, but it wasn't like a streak of like.
I can't remember. I don't think so. I think it was just the mask.
Well, maybe, but like
the prosthetics.
It was
the prosthetics.
Maybe it was the prosthetics, but like, oh man.
But what I appreciated about that shot, actually, at the end when he has his mask open and he's talking to him, like people talked about like sort of how his voice was shifting from like Anakin to Vader, which I really liked. But another thing that I don't know if you guys noticed it or if you brought it up early whenever we would talk, but also how the light shifts as well.
Yeah, the
so
blue and red.
Yes. When the red came, and he's like, when he's like fully like, after he said, I believe he said that I was the one who killed Anakin, and he just turns like fully red.
It's like,
and then
I destroyed him the same way I will destroy you, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it turns that right before he says, the same way I will destroy you, bro. Fuck.
Honestly, that whole ending fight, like, wow. It's just like everybody who's seen any content, Clone Wars, original trilogy, prequels, like comics, everything, like Rebels, like it was just amazing.
Like it makes you forget about all the flaws.
Exactly,
in the
that's what I'm
series.
saying.
It's-
That 5 moments, that whole last episode, like if somebody watched the whole series and like I didn't like this show, that whole 5 minutes would have made you love that show. Like
Absolutely. You know what's funny? I have a coworker, right?
You have a coworker?
Apparently, allegedly.
you work.
Allegedly, I work. I was talking to him about like Star Wars, and I was like, "Hey, how are you liking Obi-Wan. He's like, oh yeah, it's very good, very good. And like after the finale, I was like, bro, that finale, how was that finale? I was disappointed. I was like, what?
Are you serious?
Are you disappointed?
Okay, no, but why didn't he like the ending?
I don't know. He's just like I tried talking to him. I was like, what do you mean? And then he's like, blah, 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 blah. He just talked like Winston Churchill. Where is he?
There's like a I don't know, maybe there was like a part in the fight where the CGI wasn't fucking perfect. I honestly don't know what.
Not like, bro.
Well, everyone.
Maybe it was like the swapping in between like like the third sister and Anakin and Vader's duel and all that.
Yeah.
But like
maybe the hello there triggered him or something.
I don't like sand.
It's coarse and rough.
and irritating.
Plays with the balcony with his fingers.
Soft and smooth. And then he just goes like
Episode 2 is my favorite Star Wars movie.
so weird. It's so weird.
I actually rewatched it with my sister, and in a girl's perspective, she actually liked episode 2 a lot.
No fucking
For
way.
the love scenes.
For the love scenes. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Star Wars, women.
Okay, but what did she think about the lines though? Like she didn't find
She
it
said
cringe.
she said like they're cute together. That's from a girl's perspective though.
Well, bro, like if I don't know if you watch like people reacting to the Star Wars movies, but like whenever the girls react to anything like slightly emotional, they just start bawling their eyes out.
Wait for them to get the episode 3 finale. Constant River.
They look at Padme and they go,
You're a victim.
so why didn't you think Obi-Wan killed Vader like in that last scene?
Like I said earlier, like he doesn't need, like he's such a good guy that he doesn't need to go that far. Like I don't think Obi-Wan enjoys killing anybody. I don't even think Obi-Wan's ever killed anybody. Like he's destroyed droids. Yeah, but he's like mostly cybernetic. let's all agree.
Still, like,
and he didn't have a choice. Like he wasn't happy of killing Grievous. I don't think so.
So uncivilized. Was he
So
uncivilized? Did he say it was uncivilized because of the fact that he used a blaster?
Yeah, that he used a gun to kill somebody.
Or was it the fact that he killed someone?
I think maybe it's both.
Maybe it's
I don't
both.
think Obi-Wan
But I mean,
is a killer.
he did say. Well, he fucking sliced the guy's arm off in the fucking cantina.
That's Ben Kenobi.
But he didn't kill him though. That's completely different. It's like Batman's perspective, right? Like Batman doesn't kill, but like he'll fucking
Obi-Wan is basically Batman.
he'll like crush you to the point where he can fit you in a trash can. But as long as you're breathing, that's all that matters.
I
But,
won't
like,
kill you,
yeah.
but your hospital bills will.
So, Adam, what did you think? What do you think? Like, why didn't Obi-Wan kill Vader?
It's a good question. I don't think he never had the intention of killing him.
Agreed.
But I don't know. I think the reason why he walked away when he did, and I think we can all agree, is when like Anakin or Darth Vader admitted that Obi-Wan wasn't the one who killed Anakin, but
And-
it was he actually,
And that
destroyed
made him
himself
like
and made himself
fully
Darth
accept
Vader. Yeah,
the
so
fact as well.
exactly. So like he came to peace with that, because like as soon as he found out that Vader was still alive, he was kind of torn. He was like, oh my gosh, like I'm the reason why this happened, but now he knows that like, okay, this wasn't my fault. Like he actually did this upon himself. So he's like, he finally had peace with himself and he walked away. But even if it wasn't the case though, I don't
think he
know.
would've killed
I
him.
don't know. I don't think he would have killed him, but I don't know what he would have done.
I don't see that in Obi-Wan like at all.
No,
I don't think that
never,
was ever
never.
the intention. Like
Has he
Obi-Wan-
ever killed anyone in a duel?
I don't
besides
think so.
Grievous?
I really don't think so. Not that I remember.
Well,
like,
he
even
sort
in
of
Clone Wars.
killed Maul, but then again, he was kind of like well, no, he did kill Maul.
Well, technically, yeah, but that like understandable.
Bro, that duel.
I don't
I
think
remember- bro-
think Obi-Wan would have killed Maul if Qui-Gon didn't die. That's real.
The people reacting to the Maul versus Obi-Wan on Tatooine fight in Rebels, spoiler.
But even that,
Bro,
every
but the
time-
people reacting are like, "Oh man, I can't wait for the," and then look. It's like they
even
get the
that-
shot. They get the shot for the thumbnail. right?
But even that, I don't think like all the times he did kill somebody, it's like not intentional. Like you know, like he's not like I'm fighting this guy to kill him. It's like always like
It's always in order to protect.
in order,
Yeah,
like
but he's the
kills
quintessent-
Maul because like he like mentions Luke and he knows that like Maul's gonna fight him, so he defended
The
himself.
stances he takes in that fight is very
Yes.
interesting. So he goes from like the
Classic Obi-Wan.
classic
to,
Obi-Wan. Well, actually, no, that's the episode 3 Obi-Wan, classic Obi-Wan, and then he goes to the Qui-Gon stance. Qui-Gon. So, I remember people watching that fight and they go like, "Oh man, I'm so pumped." They're like, they start off and it's like 3 clashes and then it's over.
That was me and my dad's reaction. We were
Yeah.
watching the live episode, like I think it was on by then it was on Disney. It wasn't Disney Plus. It was
Disney XD.
Disney XD. It was like at night on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And like me and my dad, like we read the episode title was like Twin Sons. I'm like, and then like the battle's about to happen. And like my dad, I'm like, oh, and then it's like 3 seconds. I'm like, what? What just happened?
What?
No, but like the more you analyze the fight,
The better it becomes. And
yeah,
if you listen to like people who like filmed that, like Sam Witwer's take on it and George Lucas, not George Lucas, I think it was Dave Filoni explaining it, Sam Witwer explaining it, you're like, wow, like chef's kiss.
but that's how lightsaber fights have to be. Have you seen a samurai's fight?
yeah, it's very short.
It's like very short.
It's but like there's so much.
But Star
It's
Wars,
just- it's just
like
the
George
build-up.
Lucas inspired himself
so much-
on a lot of
exactly.
Japanese dueling.
well,
samurai.
look at Vader's armor.
Exactly.
Yeah, Vader's armor. But guys, I mean,
It's like
We can-
legit.
Samurai
If
mask.
you ever play Ghost of Tsushima, it's literally that.
yeah. But
The ghost.
I don't know if you guys agree with me, but for me personally, and this will always be the case, episode 5 Duel, best.
Yeah, I love that. I
Hands
loved.
down.
You know what I love about episode 5 Duel? It's not that it's, even though it's the middle duel, it's not like the final duel. I think the environment colors is like so nice, like that the orange floor panels with the smoke. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it.
Bro.
Because
The
at the end
best.
of the day, yeah.
The best. Sorry, I disagree.
Go- Really?
I disagree. The best duel is in episode 8.
You're gonna get shot after this podcast.
Wait, you were saying something about?
Yeah, for episode 5. Because it's like nowadays, lightsaber duels, or like most fights, honestly, in many series, like I can't think of anything on the top of my head, but it relies so much on CGI and all of like these.
Every Marvel movie.
No, but it's like trying to come up with like a new trick, a new move, you know, like like avoiding something in one way, or like trying to use the environment and something. But episode 5, it's like it's so raw. It's like it's just the duel, and it's so like it's
very
such a thing
suspenseful.
it's very suspenseful, and it's like such a thing that you like just appreciate in the moment, because it's really just.
It's not over the top. It's just
Yeah.
like two people fighting each other for the first time. It's
Yeah.
great. No, it's amazing.
And the
George
choreography
Lucas,
is
you're a
beautiful.
genius.
Yeah. It's
Honestly,
it seems more like Vader's toying with Luke
Yeah.
in that fight,
yeah.
but it's so it's so cool. Bro, the funniest part of that duel is when Vader gets hit in the shoulder.
And he's like, oh.
And then he goes like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" and then slices his arm.
I like when he's like, he's using the force, but he still has his lightsaber ignited, and he just goes like this at some point. And like Luke just like flies off the balcony. Amazing fight.
You know what's one thing I actually don't like in new duels? They're
Yeah.
stopping lightsabers with the force. It's the most
Oh my gosh.
awkward thing.
Episode 9, when like there's like a freeze frame.
Oh my
It's like
god!
holding
It's just like,
oh my gosh, that's so cool! And you're just looking at them like not fighting for like 5 seconds. Like,
They
it's
do that.
just
They
funny.
do that in the Obi-Wan versus Vader fight in the show. They do that at one point.
I don't remember.
Not was it Obi-Wan versus Vader or
no,
against the
Obi-Wan-
no, I
Obi-Wan
think it was
versus
Darth
Vader.
Vader against Reva.
No. It
Darth
was.
Vader versus
Well, I
Reva.
think they might have used it there as well, but they did use it in the final fight.
Yeah, but the
rewatched
only
it.
reason why he did it against her though was because he didn't even have a lightsaber.
Bro,
in the
yeah.
Oh,
first
that's
place.
true. That's
I
true.
didn't even
Okay,
turn it
okay.
on. Like
I take it
he
back.
literally
I take
he
it
literally
back.
took her lightsaber, just like split it in half and like here Here, take it, motherfucker.
It's like,
And then she,
where's the competition?
You stupid woman!
I'll get in trouble for that.
Andrew Tate fans be like, oh,
This is haram.
Anyways,
okay.
yeah. So that's one of the things I don't like. Like the duels where like what was it, like where they stop each other's lightsaber blows with the force. It just looks really awkward.
Yeah, because like the charm is like holding back and you hear the friction and it's like you unweave or like you let go to attack again. Like no, you definitely have a point there.
Like I'm fine with them using that move. It's just don't abuse it, you know?
Well, you can use it like if it's like you like try to clash at it and then it's like you like push it really hard so it goes the other way. Like that would be cool.
Like let's say if
But
you
like-
break my if you break my
Guard.
my guard, right? Like parrying.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. So
Well,
like, let's say if you parry.
Well, you're not parrying, you're just breaking the guard because
let's
already...
let's say you like when they're attacking you and then
Yeah.
you lose, like that's breaking your guard.
Yeah. So like if let's say if they break their guard and then they're going for another swing and you can't bring your lightsaber back on time, like blocking it, I kind of get something like that, you know. But like if you look at Rise of Skywalker,
It's like
Kylo Ren goes out of his way, like he has the chance of blocking with his lightsaber, he pulls it away just so he can block with his hand. Because there's nothing interesting in that fight, so they have to like try to think outside the box. But it just made it
That
so
fight
much
would have
worse.
been so much cooler if there was music,
Dude.
and if they were
Bro.
actually...
Nothing would have made it better.
I think it would have... No,
Nothing would have
They
made it
could have
better.
made it a lot better.
It was such a bad fight, dude.
The setting
Yo,
was good.
oh my god! Like you think Kylo Ren just disappears and then he's just like walking down like a little kid who like fell off the boat and he's like soaking wet and he just like
he he looks like he's like walking out of the beach after his like canoe tipped over.
that's so accurate. No, let's not talk about episode 9 again, please.
No, that's for another day. So I wrote down here something that was very interesting. I don't know if you remember the conversation that Vader had at the end with Palpatine.
I do not remember whatsoever.
Okay, so at the end, like Vader's like, "Oh, we're trying to search him. We're gonna find him. Like we have droids in like almost every system in the area." And then he goes like, "Perhaps your need for vengeance for Obi-Wan has made you weak."
Well, that's
Like-
how he lost.
But that's the thing, because Obi-Wan's a part of like Anakin's past or Anakin's history. It's like therefore he's making himself like turning more and more into Anakin instead of like focusing on becoming Vader. So
Well, he is fully Vader. It's like going back to being Anakin.
but that's the thing. It's like
he has
like
no choice to stay
Palpatine.
Vader.
I think Palpatine was like one of the people who said like, like forget the Jedi, bro. Like they're fucked. Like they're gone. Like it doesn't matter. They don't matter anymore.
That's why he goes with Order 66 and all that. That's why he turns to Darth Vader. So I think he's way past that point. But it just like he doesn't hold on to anything in the past. But is finding out about Obi-Wan, just like something happened in him, and he wanted to prove that like he's a better fighter, and that was the whole point. Like Auden said earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I think Vader is a better fighter. It's just that like Obi-Wan has a
Very, very large brain.
But I think Vader is what Anakin would have become if he continued being a Jedi, and like if he became like the strongest Jedi, you know?
So you're saying like Anakin was always destined to be Vader, regardless of like how things went.
Yeah, like I think he would have been a very powerful Jedi, and maybe it would have like fucked with him.
So what you're saying, like the power would have corrupted him eventually, anyways?
I think so. Yeah, I think like maybe a little, but then like he would have people around
If
him.
Qui-Gon
steer-
was his master,
No, agreed. But like what even Obi-Wan, like I think like he during the whole Clone Wars, even like yes, there's obviously certain scenarios that bring him like Darth Vader references, but like in general, like he always wanted to be stronger. He always felt like he was weak. He wanted to save everybody, even from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ahsoka being there, Obi-Wan, obviously he wouldn't have turned evil, but like he would definitely had conflict of like, I'm very powerful. I want to be a very powerful Jedi.
Okay.
Because I feel like because he's evil and he wants to become a very powerful Jedi, but because of the people around him, as in like he wants to prove to people that he's not a weak little kid that was a slave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to prove to himself that I'm a strong man.
Well, like I think it's to protect. So it's like
The ones he loves.
the ones he loves. Yeah. I'm going to save the ones you love. Please, you must choose. I'm too weak.
That was perfect.
I like how he just like.
I can't hold on any longer.
I like how he just turns on a dime and he's like,
Bro, wow, that scene still gets me to this day.
and then he
guys.
goes like, Mace Windu. So, what are those like one of the small things you noticed about the show?
Oh, I absolutely loved. I told you this earlier. I loved the chase scene on Alderaan. The first episode. Was it how many adults were there? Like 2
Three.
or 3?
Three.
Three full-grown adults.
He's like, like he had the most shit face ever I've ever seen in my life. He's so creepy. That guy, the bald guy.
But I noticed a lot because I usually, when I watch anything like Star Wars, Marvel, blah blah blah, every episode I usually like watch like 2 or 3 YouTubers who do like breakdown videos. So like, it's like I'm not talking to somebody, but like I'm hearing somebody else's perspective, and they point out a lot of things. So I saw a lot of Easter eggs, like the Jedis, like the frozen Jedis in the temple. That was
Quinlan
sick. Quinlan Voss reference, and then here and there, like mention like I can't think of specific things right now, but like like they do a lot of parallels and like metaphors and stuff. So it's all interesting.
I think one of the things I noticed that like whenever I watch people react to the end of the fight scene is like, what does Obi-Wan call Vader at the end?
Darth.
Goodbye,
I fucking love that.
Darth. Right, because it's like a reference to the
Episode 4, exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, little Easter eggs and little mentions.
only master of evil, Darth. Vader. Release him. Yeah. What do you think of the moral and the message of the story is? Auden.
Yeah, you go ahead, Aaron. Big brain.
I need time to think about this. I don't know, Alex. Do you have
Very,
something in mind?
very
Okay, on the top of my head, I think that like never give in to your vengeance. Never seek revenge, because then you get messed up by your close friends. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, I think there's a lot of messages like, no matter how broken you think you are, like you have the power to like overcome it. And like sometimes like people have rough past, you have rough history, but like it's never too late to like forge a new path and move on, like stuff like that. I think that was a strong message, on Obi-Wan's side, like never to give up, no matter what, even like if everything like didn't go your way, even after 10 years, like 12 years pass, like it's never too late to turn a new leaf, or like to accept what happened in the past and like move on. And then like in Vader's point of view, it's like yeah, not to ever seek like a vengeance, or like just get cocky in life and be like like do stuff just for the sake of like proving yourself something, like you should accept things how they are and move on. Yeah.
So the moral would be, in your opinion, like
Never give up on yourself, no matter how hard it is, and always push to strive to be better.
I mean, I think that message, like regarding like Darth Vader's path, like I think that's pretty obvious. What?
no, I'm just thinking. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, but I think like Darth Vader's like his arc, sort of like the message that like that I guess like the morale that we're trying to learn from his mistakes in this story. It's pretty obvious. No, seriously, what is the?
No, I'm just laughing at the
story. But,
right. So the morale of a story, yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, we all know that like he's going down a dark path, and like whatever he's doing is wrong. I mean, if
But
if you need to watch that, no, but if you need to watch that to like learn a lesson out of it, like that's sad. But I'm trying to think more in the perspective of like Obi-Wan and how his character development kind of taught us a lesson. Because the thing that sticks with me is that was it the last scene? I think it was the last scene of like the season of like the show. Was him finally introducing himself to Luke. This whole story.
One of the last scenes, yeah.
It was one of the last ones.
Yeah.
So like basically the whole season.
No, the last scene is not that.
But it was
The
one of
last
the last
scene is
one of-
Qui-Gon.
True. But I feel like because Qui-Gon was more of like a teaser at the end, you know.
No,
but I feel like
think-
the whole
okay, yeah,
show, you know what I mean. I feel like the whole show led up to him finally introducing himself to Luke.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
in the story, like Uncle Owen was like, I want nothing for you to do with that boy. So there's that too. But yeah, it's like the final moment is like him
Yeah.
finally be like, hey,
But I think overall,
hello there.
the main message from that the season kind of taught me was don't be afraid of
Your
not
past?
don't be afraid of your past. Don't be afraid of repeating your mistakes, because that was one thing that scarred Obi-Wan the most. Was he doesn't want to be involved in other people's lives because he saw what that did with Anakin.
Oh, that's a good point actually.
So
he doesn't want to get
he's-
close to anybody.
yeah, so he's scared of being in
Attachment.
other people's lives, being attached to people, because he saw what that does. So I feel like that was like the main message. And like once he got past Vader and noticed that like, okay, that wasn't my fault that he turned into Darth Vader, was actually hit, like, as much as like, yeah, you can argue that like he did have influence on him
Like
turning into Darth
a
Vader.
role in him, yeah.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, he wasn't the one who made that decision for him. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
his actions that caused him to turn into Darth Vader. So he noticed that, okay, like there's hope, and like I shouldn't
A
be
new hope?
too worried about like the mistakes I've done in the past, because you never know that's gonna repeat, and you never know what's gonna happen unless you try it. So I think that's like the message of the story is don't be afraid, just like go out there, do whatever you think it needs to be done.
Mm.
What about you, Chris?
I think it's a message of duty above all else. Right? So so it's like his initial reason of going to Tatooine was to protect Luke and to protect, like, I guess the children, right? Of the Skywalkers. And he was like reneging on that, and then like through the influence of Bail Organa was eventually able to, like,
And Leia.
and Leia was eventually able to surpass and like reach his point of duty, right? So
Yeah, because he kind of fell off basically.
he basically he did fall off. Like
Yeah.
he was barely able to pull like a fucking little thing across the fucking table, but then
No, like he wasn't using the Force, but like he was still on Tatooine looking over.
but the
Luke.
reason why he was becoming stronger was because he had a strong need to protect
Yes.
Leia and Luke. So therefore, it's like he saw it as his duty to protect Leia and Luke.
to protect
The
the
future.
brother he lost, like their children, like his
Right.
legacy basically. The
Basi-
legacy
yeah.
of Anakin, not Vader.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's also that responsibility as well. It's like knowing that people depend on you, and that if you have the power, you need to be helping others. And I think that was brought up with what was his name, man? The guy who was pretending to be a Jedi.
Haja.
Say it again.
Haja.
Haja. That was his name in the show.
Yeah.
Haja. Like I liked his arc as well, where he kind of like turns and starts helping Ben. Like at first, like he was doing it so he can like make money on the side.
Kumal, what's his name?
Oh, the name of the actor.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Kumal Anjanli.
I think
Haja.
I love the
Pronouncing
actor though.
Kumal
He's a
Haja.
really good actor. But no, I feel like his role in the story also kind of had an influence on Obi-Wan as well, in a
Yeah.
way, and it also ties into the lesson too, in my opinion.
Wait, in what way?
In the fact that
Elaborate.
you need to acknowledge your responsibilities and you need to step forward.
So wait, it's like that's something he taught Obi-Wan?
No, not that he taught him, but I think it
Like it reignited.
He reignited,
It reignited
when
it,
he
it
when
helped
he had
with
that
the-
conversation.
yeah.
So he needs to take responsibility for some stuff, yeah?
Yeah, because he had not necessarily the power, but he had the chance to help others, and he used it rather than helping only himself.
Mm-hmm. Last thoughts would be a rating from 1 to 10.
I would give a biased rating of 10 on 10 because I really liked it, but like on a like a real perspective, like with all the flaws and stuff, like story wise, I think like an 8.9 would be.
So like you're
Even?
saying 8.9 out of 10.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
8. You couldn't round that up to a 9.
I wanted to give it a 9, but that whole Reva thing just like pissed me off for this second, so I brought it down to 8.9.
I don't care what you guys say. I really like Reva's arc, except for like the stabbing portions. But
Yeah, that's what it really.
But you can
affected
argue.
me.
You can argue that she's a Force user and she managed to like live off of the Force somehow, just
Do-
like the same
do
way
you
that
guys
Darth Maul
remember-
did, but
Do you guys remember what was the name of that other Inquisitor? not the dude, the other guy.
No, like the
other
even in
chick.
Rebels, like he wears a mask, and I don't think he's even mentioned. Like he's just there.
Wait, wasn't it the same guy in Rebels?
They're both in Rebels.
yeah, I completely forgot about the
Actually,
Grand
no.
Inquisitor
Was
as well.
that? Yeah, that was the lady. That was the girl that Maul kills, and the fifth
That's
brother.
not.
Yes.
No,
I'm
it's
pretty sure
not.
it's the same lady.
Yes, Chris.
It is. It is.
It is not.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
It is not.
I haven't even seen half the fucking show, and I know it is, bro.
It is the same lady that Ezra Bridger chased. I'm pretty sure. Unless it's another sister.
No,
Okay,
it's another
whatever.
sister because
It's possible.
the lady in Rebels is like green, and then the lady in Obi-Wan's
Okay.
like orange.
Okay,
She's like a Twi'lek.
Okay, but she looks exactly like the Rebels lady. Anyways, whatever.
No, she doesn't. So what was your rating?
I'd say like a 9.
Okay, I go back to a 9.
You're never at a 9.
I wouldn't say a 9. I'd say like an 8. Like as,
Really? Then
Yeah.
What? Why?
The faults.
It could have done better world building in some aspects.
I agree.
Like it felt like what was it? That one planet that they go to find Leia, that was great. Like
Yeah,
that
Where
drug
she was kidnapped.
where she was kidnapped. Yeah, that was great. I like the whole drug thing and like the whole thing with the
Yeah,
spice.
that was
I
cool,
think
that
that
was
was
cool.
really cool. Mapuzo, right?
Mapuzo is the when they were in
when they were in like in
the
that field.
van.
Well, yeah, that's when they go into the van, yeah. So that one, like, oh, it's a mining world where a bunch of people, boring, right? And then they go to what was the other planet they go to? Jabim, again. It's like it looks like fucking what was it?
Okay, so you wanted more like star, like
it looks
in
like-
Rogue
it looks
One, more planets.
It looks
and
like that
just
planet
variety.
from Hunt, like from Solo.
Oh, the first planet.
No, the not Corellia.
Kessel.
Kessel.
Yeah, but Kessel's a cool planet.
It is a cool planet, but we've already seen it.
Okay.
But like the only like the two planets that were really cool were Alderaan. And
Yeah,
that
we
one-
finally saw Alderaan
We
after
finally
all
saw
these
Alderaan.
years.
That's crazy.
And then there was also
Tatooine.
No. What's the planet that the
Jakku.
Inquisitor bases on?
Well, again, we've already seen that.
Camino.
It's just like no, it's not Camino. It's a moon in the Mustafar system. So
Okay,
like,
but it's like Camino is literally underwater.
It's,
like a
it's like
base.
Camino basically. It's the Fortress Inquisitor.
But
Is that, I mean,
Chris,
like,
like to be honest though, like no offense, but I feel like if you're basing your rating off of the world building,
well, that's one of the factors.
Okay.
Like that's there was also
Did you like the main story?
the main story is good. I think there's a lot of points where Obi-Wan kind of had plot armor.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
for example, when like I don't know why Vader just didn't kill Obi-Wan when he was in the fire.
Because like you said, we
No, but-
established this. He was torturing him.
yeah,
you wanted
well,
him alive. You wanted to capture him.
But he was also this. I was talking about this. I forgot with who again. Like in the past, that he was angry about that Obi-Wan, like
wasn't fighting back.
wasn't fighting back hard
Like
enough, and that he was
the last
too
episode.
weak. He wanted to prove himself that like he's
I'm
better
too
than him,
weak.
than his best self. You know,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
he wanted Obi-Wan to come back stronger and show him that okay, I can.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
I get that. There's also maybe
The Reva stuff.
the Reva stuff. Yeah. She
And
had
honestly,
a lot of plot armor.
I
like
liked it.
especially when she gets stabbed. Like how did she get stabbed a second time and survive? How did she survive the first stab?
No, but basically what
Just-
happened was the
just so they can have a
intestines. The
character called
intestines sort
Reva.
of like moved out of the way, and it like kind of created like a gap.
Like
so,
a
it kind of
perfect
pushed
gap.
out.
So it caught the lightsaber perfectly. It burned a
Doesn't make
little bit,
sense.
but like it burned a little bit, but like
Yeah, it was just like a first degree burn, you know.
yeah, or whatever. Oh, whatever.
Well, whatever.
So, some of the pieces, like the Inquisitor's head was kind of weird. Like it wasn't like an egg. It was kind of like
Oh
a
yeah,
fucking,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
it was
get
like
it.
a
There was a
head.
lot like
He looked like Caillou.
they've made him look normal, and then like Cad Bane. Like I loved Cad Bane in Boba Fett, but even him, like they've made an actual Duros, which is the alien that Cad Bane is. Like in episode 4, why couldn't he look like that? Anyways, whatever. It's a
'Cause
little
they're
stuff.
trash.
Episode
It's
4?
a little stuff. In episode 4, it's the first time we see Cad Bane species. They have a big blue head with red eyes, and they've done like
Wasn't that in the
Pros-
cantina?
prosthetics for that. And even in the Battlefront video games, like their head is shaped like that. But then in the show, they made him like squished. Like it doesn't. Anyways, whatever.
And I really like the way Cad Bane looked. I understand if
It
you
was
don't like
still
the Inquisitor
cool,
that
but
much.
it's like it wasn't like I feel like they could have made him look like how the other aliens look
Yeah.
like. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, but as much as like their look wasn't perfect, I felt like the acting.
And
kinda-
the acting was good. I liked the
it's-
Inquisitor.
He was
Inquisitor,
really good.
Inquisitor had like a stick up his ass. It was great.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Honestly, in general, very good show. But like, I think like it could have been a very different show if they had done different storylines. Like, I don't think like they could have done a show with just like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Like, they didn't have to do like 4 episodes of Leia building. You know what I'm saying?
Disney,
Yeah.
take notes.
Disney, we're coming for your jobs.
I'm gonna come.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. So tell your names again.
So, Alex.
My name's Aaron.
And my name's Chris. All the Instagrams will be down below. Ladies, one at a time, please. Thank you. Take care. And remember.
Ass!